Overall analysis. Through the first 3 games of the 2025, ranking 31st overall in defensive efficiency metrics, such as expected points, added per play at plus 0.11, and defense-adjusted value over average at 27.9%. Opponents have averaged 405.3 yards per game and 27.7 points per game against them, placing the unit among the league's worst in total defense. This poor performance stems from a combination of porous run-stopping, coverage lapses in the secondary, and an inability to consistently convert pressures into game-changing plays, despite some strengths in pass rushing. Drawing from sources like Pro Football Focus and Sharp Football Analysis previews for 2025, the defense was expected to improve under coordinator Shane Bowen, with additions like safety Jevon Holland and rookie outside linebacker Abdul Carter, building on a 2024 season where they ranked 8th in sacks with 45. However, early results show persistent issues, particularly against balanced offenses, with opponents running the ball on 40.9% of plays and passing on 59.1%, resulting in 9 touchdowns allowed, 5 rushing, 4 passing. The unit's aggressive style, including a 29.6% blitz rate, has generated pressure, but often leaves them vulnerable to explosive plays, as evidenced by 14 runs of 10 or more yards allowed and a high completion rate on deep passes. Run defense analysis. The Giants' run defense has been one of the weakest in the league through 3 games, allowing 153.3 yards per game on the ground, 460 total rushing yards, and 5.2 yards per play, ranking them 32nd in rushing defense-adjusted value over average at 28.4%. Opponents have gained 86 more rushing yards than expected, equating to plus 1.07 yards over expected per attempt, highlighting inefficiencies in gap control and tackling. They allow 1.63 yards before contact per attempt and 3.66 yards after contact per attempt, indicating that offensive lines are winning at the point of attack and defenders are missing opportunities to limit gains. Only 11.4% of runs are stuffed for no gain or loss, and the defense performs poorly against lighter boxes. 56.8% of runs succeed, though they face stacked fronts less frequently at 19.3%. This continues trends from 2024, where they surrendered a league-high plus 494 rushing yards over expected and ranked last in average rushing yards allowed per play at 5.43 per National Football League advanced stats. Sources like ESPN's Week 3 recap note that missed tackles and poor pursuit have contributed to explosive runs, with opponents converting 21.4% of third and long situations into big gains last season, a problem persisting into 2025. Expected points added per rush stands at plus 0.10, meaning runs are consistently adding value for offenses, making this a clear liability. Pass defense analysis. While slightly better than the run defense, the Giants' pass defense still ranks 25th in passing defense-adjusted value over average at 27.7%, allowing 252 yards per game, 756 total passing yards, and 6.0 yards per play. They generate pressure on 30.4% of dropbacks, with 8 sacks, a 5.9% sack rate, and 41 quarterback pressures overall, aided by a quick average get-off time of 0.92 seconds and time to pressure of 2.73 seconds. However, coverage issues persist, with an average target separation of 3.4 yards at pass arrival, higher than elite units, and 382 yards after catch allowed, about 127 per game. The secondary has allowed high passer ratings, often over 80, and positive coverage expected points added for several players, with 70.5% of targets completed for 818 yards and 4 touchdowns. Deep pass defense is a major weakness, with a 59.1% completion rate on throws of 20 or more yards last season, the highest since 2016. Continuing into 2025, where they forced tight windows on only 27.3% of such targets. From National Football League Insights, dated September 16, 2025, the pass rush is top-heavy, with edge rushers accounting for 63.2% of pressures, 24 of 38. But the interior has only 5, ranking third fewest league-wide. Expected points added per pass is plus 0.12, showing that despite forcing quarterbacks to release in 2.66 seconds on average, offenses still gain value through yards after catch and explosive plays. Key players. Several players stand out, providing pockets of strength amid team-wide struggles. Brian Burns, outside linebacker, leads with an overall defensive grade of 85.6 from Pro Football Focus, excelling in pass rush, 89.6 grade, 13 pressures, 3 sacks, and contributing in coverage. He aligns mostly on the right edge and generates quick pressures, 32 under 2.5 seconds in 2024, ranking third in quick pressures since 2019. Dexter Lawrence, nose tackle, anchors the interior with an 82.3 overall grade, facing double teams on 60.6% of pass rushes, 5th highest in the league. He has 5 pressures but no sacks yet in 2025, down from a career-high 9 in 2024, drawing attention that frees edges but limiting his output. Kayvon Thibodeaux, outside linebacker, grades at 77.5 overall, with 12 pressures and strong run defense, 77.5 grade, 6 tackles, 0 misses. He rotates sides and combines well with Burns and rookie Abdul Carter. Bobby Okereke, inside linebacker, versatile with a 72.6 overall grade, leading the league with 26 tackles at 100% efficiency through 2 weeks, no misses, providing solid run support, 34 tackles, 18 stops, and coverage. Javon Holland, strong safety, new addition with a 75.6 run defense grade, allowing low completion percentages over expected, 11.7% in 2024 with Miami, and contributing 7 tackles with 0 misses. From a Reddit deep dive preview in June 2025, the unit's potential ranks 12th overall if the secondary gels, but early games showed depth concerns, with lower-graded players like cornerback Andrew Phillips allowing 231 yards and 2 touchdowns. Strategy to attack the defense. To exploit the Giants' weaknesses, offenses should emphasize a ground-heavy approach early to wear down the front 7, then transition to quick passes and deep shots to target coverage gaps. Start with inside runs against lighter boxes, where they succeed only 50% of the time, but allow high yards after contact, 3.66 per attempt. Use pulling guards and misdirection to create lanes, aiming for plus 1.07 yards over expected per carry. Incorporate quarterback scrambles, as they allowed plus 4.5 yards over expected per scramble in 2024. Once established, attack the secondary with quick releases under 2.5 seconds to neutralize the 29.6% blitz rate and 30.4% pressure rate, focusing on yards after catch. They've allowed 382 total. Target mismatches like slot corners or safeties with high target rates, e.g. Phillips at 26.2%, using play action on first downs where deep pass completion rates reach 70%. On 3rd and long, force explosive plays after the catch, as they've converted 21.4% into gains historically. Rotate protections to single block edges like Burns and Thibodeaux, who generate 40% pressure when together, but double team Lawrence to limit interior disruption, per National Football League, Week 3 previews from sources like NBC Sports and Yahoo Sports. Teams like the Chiefs have succeeded by protecting against the edge rush while exploiting run vulnerabilities, suggesting a balanced script with 40 to 50% runs to control the clock and limit the Giants' aggressive packages. Overall, patience in building drives will capitalize on their reactive tackling, high miss rates at 17.9%, and late-game fatigue, as seen in fourth-quarter yields of 7.4 yards per play when key rushers are on the field. Key insights. Top rushers, Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeaux, lead with 102 pass rush snaps each, both blitzing heavily, 90% plus. Burns stands out with 3.0 sacks and 11 quarterback pressures, QBP, achieving a 10.8% QBP rate. His quick time to pressure, TTP 2.85 seconds, and get off, 0.99 seconds, indicate elite edge speed. Interior pressure, Dexter Lawrence, 94 snaps, 100% blitz, generates pressure, 4 QBP, but has 0 sacks, aligning with his 19th ranked PRR of 8%. His slower get-off, 1.13 seconds, suggests reliance on power over quickness. Team trends, high blitz rates across the board, many at 100%, point to an aggressive defense, but low sack totals, only 6.0 team sacks implied from top contributors, and QBP percent, around 10%, suggest inefficiency in converting pressures to disruptions. Quick QB pressures, QK-QBP, are sparse, with Burns leading at 5. Strengths, weaknesses, strong volume from LBs, but DL depth is thin. Lower-ranked players have minimal impact. This could expose the Giants to quick-release passing games. Key insights. Top cover guys. Paulson Thibodeaux leads in snaps, 135, but allows a high 104.8 passer rating and plus 7.1 COV EPA. Expected points added in coverage, indicating struggles. Jevon Holland is more efficient, 80.0 rating, low 8.0% tack quotient. Limiting yards, 67 allowed, with tight windows, TW percent, 10.0%. Rookie young impact, Tyler Nubin, rookie safety, excels with a 56.3 rating and negative wides allow, a 4, showing sticky coverage, average. September, 1.5 yards, 50%, TW percent. Team trends, high target rates for some, e.g., Andrew Phillips at 26.2%, suggest opponents exploit certain matchups. Catch percent hovers around 60 to 75%, with positive CROE, catch rate over expected, for many indicating worse than expected completions allowed. Yak/rec is moderate, 3 to 7 yards, but TDs allowed, e.g., 2 for Phillips, highlight red zone issues. Strengths, weaknesses. Secondary has volume but leaky. Team-wide high ratings greater than 80. Positive EPA. LBs like Okereke contribute in coverage but allow chunk yards. Ball hawk rates, hawk percent, are low, with few INTS, only 1 team-wide shown. Run defense challenges. The Giants surrendered a league-high plus 494 rushing yards, over expected in 2024, the second most by any defense in a single season since at least 2018. They also allowed an average of plus 4.5 rushing yards, over expected per carry to opposing scramblers, the most in the NFL. Overall, the Giants ranked poorly in run defense metrics, 27th in rushing yards allowed per game, 136.2, and dead last in average rushing yards allowed per play, 5.43. They faced 503 rushing attempts, tied for 6th most in the league, contributing to leaky yardage due to missed tackles and poor efficiency. Pass rush and blitzing. Under first-year defensive coordinator Shane Bowen, the Giants recorded the 6th highest blitz rate in the NFL at 34.8%. Note: some sources report a slightly lower rate of 27.9% for 2024, potentially due to varying definitions or mid-season adjustments. When blitzing, they achieved the second highest sack rate, 11.9%, but allowed a league-high 8.6 yards per attempt. The team finished with 45 total sacks, 8th in the NFL, a significant improvement from 34 in 2023. Their pressure rate was 31.6%, 22nd, but they ranked tied for 8th in sacks, 6, and quarterback hits, 13, through early games. Key player highlights: Dexter Lawrence, NT number 97, faced double teams on 63.8% of his pass rushes, the highest rate in the NFL among players with at least 200 rushes, over 10 percentage points higher than any other defender. Despite this, he generated 14 pressures when double-teamed, 5th most league-wide, and finished with a career-high 9.0 sacks in 12 games, team high. The Giants' pressure-to-sack conversion rate was 27.5% with Lawrence on the field, higher than the league-leading Ravens' 24.4%, but dropped to 17.5% without him. Brian Burns, OLB, generated a team-high 66 pressures in 2024, one shy of his career-high 67 in 2022 with Carolina, with 32 coming in under 2.5 seconds, translating to a 48.5% quick pressure share, 5th highest among defensive linemen, with at least 30 pressures. Verified data shows 61 pressures, 2nd highest in his career, with 8.5 sacks. Since entering the league in 2019, Burns ranks 3rd in quick pressures, 180, behind Myles Garrett, 259, and Aaron Donald, 190. Jevon Holland, SS number 8, signed to a 3-year, $45.3 million deal in March 2025, up to $46.8 million with incentives, $30.3 million guaranteed. In 2024 with Miami, he ranked 4th among safeties, minimum. 30 targets, in lowest completion percentage over expected, CPOE, allowed at minus 11.7%, and 10th lowest completion percentage when targeted, 57.1%. These previews suggest the Giants' defense in 2025 could build on a strong pass rush, led by Lawrence and Burns, while addressing run-stopping issues. The addition of Holland bolsters the secondary, potentially pairing well with young talents like Tyler Nubin. However, some stats, EIJUDGE, exact blitz rate and pressures, vary slightly across sources, possibly due to methodological differences. Note on the NFL statistics image: defensive statistics for the New York Giants from what appears to be the 2025 NFL season after 3 games played. They rank 31st overall, allowing 215 total yards per game, with breakdowns on run defense, 40.9% run plays, 5.2 yards per rush, pass defense, and advanced metrics like RPA/rush plus 0.10, RYOE negative 86, and stuff rate 11.4%. Definitions for terms like blitz percent and QBP, quarterback pressure, are included. It indicates a struggling defense early in the season, particularly against the run, with positive EPA suggesting slightly better than expected performance per rush allowed.